Welcome to another weekly energy reading for the collective for the week of February 8th to the 15th. So, as usual, I pulled one rune and three tarot cards. The first card for the situation of the collective, the second for the advice for the collective, and the third for the outcome for the week. And the rune that I pulled was Dagaz, which I seem to pull a lot for these readings, interestingly. And Dagaz is about the timing being right. It's about incredible change and transformation. Transformation so enormous that the old ways may feel impossible to live with anymore. So it's about daybreak, night into light, a clear turning point, and a shift in awareness that can't be undone. It's arrival out of struggle, which we as a society have definitely faced in the past. I would say in our entire past, and I was going to say the past 50 years or 100 years, but humanity has struggled. We have come from struggle and we are arriving out of struggle. It's just going to take a little more time, and that's what this rune says. Things are going to begin to make sense, though, this week. It pretends incredible achievement, and it's in some particular area of your personal life and in the life of the collective. But you're being told not to be haughty, to continue to work as though you're seeking hope, even if hope seems to be right in front of you, and all will fall into place. Your warrior nature will reveal itself as you leap into the unknown, empty-handed, which requires trust, right? So as I meditated on it, I saw Peter Pan, interestingly, flying off a cliff with a smile on his face, much like the fool of the tarot. And materially, this could mean that you acquire bravery in some area where you have historically been afraid. It could mean that truth comes to light and frees you from some blame or accusation that's been placed on you. For the collective, it could mean that some person long held guilty will be exonerated. That's something that feels like a big possibility this week. So for the situation position, I pulled the Nine of Cups. And this means that something is working this week. Dreams are coming true. Hope is coming alive. Emotional satisfaction presents itself for the collective this week. No more chasing, but rather receiving is what this card stands for. Abundance will arrive in some form, though not necessarily materially. It could be emotionally or spiritually as well, but abundance will be the theme of the week and the situation for the week. As I meditated on it, I saw doors opening into a grand, beautiful ballroom that was outfitted in incredible floral arrangements and plant arrangements and trees. And coming in from the dark hallway was what this really was about. Not so much about the room itself, but about entering from the dark hallway into this well-lit, beautiful, adorned room. So it's the collective spirit of freedom and hope that I sense with this card, and that's what's coming for us this week. Materially, I wonder if certain people who have been persecuted will finally take a step toward being free to exist as they are. No fear of recrimination or deportation. A sense of hope and peace may pervade the collective this week. Something long awaited may arrive. So it's that kind of energy that the Nine of Cups foretells. For the advice position, interestingly, I pulled the Emperor. And this is asking us to hold boundaries and structure and ownership, even in the midst of the relief we may be feeling about the abundance and satisfaction of the Nine of Cups. We shouldn't give up on making way for peace just because peace seems to already be here. And that's the same as what Dagaz tells us too, in a way. We're asked to hold on to structure for those who may still be out in that dark hallway and haven't entered the grand ballroom yet. They're waiting to get inside. So now that some of us have that peace, we need to stabilize it for all so that all can have it. We should maintain routines. We should make solid plans. Don't just float on the satisfaction of the Nine of Cups and Dagaz, but have faith, trust, and be realistic about what needs to be done to maintain this peace. I saw an eagle flying high above with a yellow ribbon dangling from its mouth. And the ribbon is a reminder, a metaphorical reminder that the eagle's belly may be full, but it will be empty again. And if he maintains his evolutionary structure, he'll be able to feed again in the hard times. But he must always remember that structure is required in order to maintain that peace. So materially, you may have made some money this week and you're tempted to spend it all. Don't. Save some for next week. You may have made inroads in a relationship in your life, but don't rest on your laurels of those inroads. Continue to move forward with generosity and love and feed that relationship, even though it feels like it's fully fed. So for the outcome position, I pulled the Knight of Cups, or rather, also called the Son of Cups in the Wild Unknown, which is the deck that I use. I I guess this fits with the Valentine's Day theme of the week, because it can mean honest, romantic expression. It can mean heartfelt gestures, speaking from the heart. But that's not just for those who have a romantic partner. It's for all who have relationships, and that's everyone. We all have relationships of some kind. And in those relationships, there will be clearer expression. And that expression will come in a universal language. And interestingly, I saw a huge musical clef floating. And I think that stands for that universal language, for the language of the heart. And materially, this could mean that an offer comes through, an apology, an olive branch might be given. And perhaps most hopefully for the collective, someone may step forward to lead sincerely and honesty, perhaps, possibly even someone who we think couldn't possibly do that. So it's about listening to the inner language and not being locked into necessarily the language of your voice, and allowing that language to open up the possibilities of hearing the expression that's coming through it. Open your heart this week. There is a lot to be excited for, and it stands to be a hopeful, generous week for us all.